Hello, everybody. My name is Hailey Kennedy. Throughout life, we are taught to be kind to others and to give each other respect regardless of what we go through and how we go about it. And whether or not you've taken this as an opportunity to gain friends or to either lift yourself up. A lot of us go down a route of people pleasing, which is to just help everyone out and to please everybody. When you encounter your first bully, which I'm for sure we've done that, you ask yourself, what did I do? Why me? Why this particular person was upset at me or decided to hurt you or whatever that is. Um, and it's comes to a point where you're like, so you blame yourself, and when really it's not your fault. And it's not really anybody's fault, but you blame yourself and you think, okay, what did I do wrong and how can I stop this person from being mad at me? So you come to the idea that if you can be agreeable constantly and if you can just boost their ego, then they won't be mad at you and they won't pressure you into anything or bully you. So, and to say this, in school, I struggled with that exactly of people pleasing and having to deal with people who bullied me and me being kind. I always thought it was me doing something, so I always resorted to people pleasing. Whatever they said, I agreed with. Even if I didn't like it, even if I didn't want to, I still agreed with them because it's the people pleasing in me. And I did struggle with that a lot, but I'm here to tell you that being the yes man is not it does not bring you to any conclusion that is good. A lot of people have trouble with it and they get burnt out on people. They get in trouble with certain things. If you put yourself in a situation that's bad, you can get in trouble with that. So, a the fable that I chose for the moral that perfectly explains it. The father and his two daughters. The moral is you cannot please everybody. And that is the truth. You cannot please everyone. So I'm going to start with the fable that I've chosen, The Father and His Two Daughters. And it is retold by the online collection of the Aesop's Fable. And it starts with a father and his two daughters. His two daughters get married. One daughter is to the gardener, and the other daughter is married to the tile maker. Some time passes by. The father visits his daughters. He visits the daughter who married the gardener, and she wishes for rain. That way, that the plants will be prosperous and they won't die out, right? So she wishes for rain. The tile maker's daughter, um, the tile, the tile maker daughter, she wishes for dry weather. That way, the bricks can dry. And ultimately, the father at that time, if he asked himself, if one wishes for rain and you wish for dry weather, then what am I supposed to do? So that comes to the moral that you can't please everybody because the difference between having rain and of course dry, they're complete opposites. You can't make them together or without ruining the other. So if you chose rain, then you ruin the dry. If you chose dry, you ruin the rain. So I feel like that moral is very fitting with it. And although I don't have two daughters, I had friends and two friend groups that I had a similar situation with. Um, and with the moral, you can't please everybody. Um, you, you especially couldn't please my friend group, my two friend groups. One of them were your average rowdy. They didn't care what other people thought. Um, they they were just rambunctious. They were very proud and eccentric and loud. And my other friend group were the wallflowers. They were awkward and they would be teased all the time. And they were weird. They were weird in their own right. And I was in both of these friend groups because I liked having friends. And this was in middle school. I loved having friends. It was just a way for me to blend in between, I feel like, my personality, to where it's like, I like being loud and then I like being quiet. So I was in these two friend groups for just the fun of it because it was fun. And eventually, at some point, unfortunately, they got into an argument, and I was the middleman. I was the messenger that would go in between both of them, constantly, back and forth and back and forth. And it was either the approach of like ignoring them and then talking behind their back, or either confronting them and saying something about it. I was the unwilling messenger between the two. I was caught in the crossfire. And for the sake of me keeping my friends, I wanted to please both of them. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted everyone to be okay and nice to each other. And I just couldn't understand how and why they were so mad at each other. And it's because they were polar opposites. They didn't mix. So for me, trying to be a people pleaser between the loudness and the quietness, it didn't work out because they don't mix. You can't please everybody, as related to the fable. The rain and the dry, and the loud and the quiet, you can't, those two don't go together. You can't, regardless of how hard you try, people pleasing will get you in trouble. And it did get me in trouble. They, both of the groups, they looked at me and they were like, they made me out to be the main problem in between, which arguably, yes. If I went in between, I was just kind of causing all of the problems because I wanted to people please, and that got me nowhere. It got me out of luck, and it lost me friends, and that was terrible. And I learned a very valuable lesson at a very young age, and I learned that you can't please everybody. You can't. It it gets you into just these ruts you can't dig yourself out of. And I would hope and I would highly recommend that all of y'all just look inwards and think, how can I not only protect myself but also understand, the ones that you want to keep. And even with like it is a very this fable helps me understand that, I mean, it's not an isolated incident. Everyone goes through this. I feel like you may know somebody, or either you went through it. It's just the idea that there are two polar opposites of something and they don't mix. And you are trying to be that just middle ground, and it doesn't work out. And normally it doesn't. And reality is to just still be kind, but you have to look out for yourself. You can't put yourself in bad situations, or any situation that could get you in trouble, or just, could cause problems. It gets you nowhere. It gets you nowhere. And it it's it is a great lesson to learn. And I hope none of you have gone through it, but I know if some of you have, you will understand that the people pleasing aspect is, it's difficult to get over because you want to be kind, but you can be kind without pushing your own boundaries or the boundaries of others. So, um, okay. Um, thank you. Are there any questions?